we have come up with a vision which dovetails very well with the vision of the country of being an upper middle income society by 2030. For us, we have also aligned our vision to the national vision as defined by His Excellency, but also to the SDG 7, where we want to also achieve by that 2030 the universal access to modern energy. And when we say universal access to modern energy, you will have to then talk to the statistics of where are we with regards to access. As of 2022, during the census, we picked up that we had reached about 62% access to modern energy based on the census which was done door to door. And part of that was coming from renewable energy. And that 62%, it leaves us with about 38%, which is still a huge number, which doesn't have access to modern energy. So our role as government is to ensure that we accelerate and have that access achieved. So we have certain instruments in terms of laws, which is the Electricity Act of 2002, the Energy Regulatory Act of 2011. We also have the Rural Electrification Act of 2002. Those acts are administered by the Minister of Energy, and they are meant to ensure energy security. But they also define what needs to be done within the sector. And one of the issues which is quite clear within the sector is the fact that we need to bring in other players within the sector, in particular private sector. So if you speak to energy and the role of private sector, if you look at the petroleum sector, over 90% is driven by private sector who are licensed by our regulator in terms of procurement companies, retail companies, and also wholesalers for both petroleum, liquid fuels, and also gas. And one sector which has grown significantly and is driven also by consumption, especially within our townships, is that of LPG. I think the demand of gas over the last 15 to 20 years has grown more than 10 times in terms of what it used to be. So that's on the petroleum side. And when we move on to the electricity subsector, we're still having serious challenges with regards to supply. We brought in 600 megawatts through Wange 7 and 8, and with that 600 megawatts, we are actually going to be self-sufficient because we're bringing in 600 megawatts and we had almost 1,000 megawatts in Kariba, and we have also imports coming between 300 to 500 megawatts from the region. However, we then lost about 600 megawatts in Kariba, not in Wange, because of climate change. So climate change is real, it is affecting us, and it has brought us back to a very constrained point of supply. And for that, we need to work together, not just as government, but also with the private sector in terms of addressing the issue of supply of electricity. And when we speak to the issues of access, we are saying even in urban areas where we should be over 80%, and we are over 80% of our households which are connected to the grid, we still have these 15 to 18% which are new townships which have been built, which have been developed, but still don't have access to the grid. And what I have seen over the past 10 years is a huge increase in appetite for the use of renewables. And at times we say that there is always a silver lining in every challenge which we face. And I've actually seen those who have renewables in their homes, especially those who are in new developments, they don't complain about ZESA because they have their own ZESA. They self-supply, they have their battery systems, and the good thing about the renewables is that you can upgrade them, you can upscale them. You can start with a smaller system, and as you get more money, you buy an extra panel every month, and if you put in a bigger inverter at the beginning, you can then upscale your system to whatever size you need to meet your full requirements. So it is an issue where, as government, we are saying our role is to ensure that there is sufficient energy, but that energy will not be supplied by our own utilities alone, but also we want to see the private sector coming in, and we have seen IPPs, independent power producers, which have come in. But the biggest area of growth is in commercial and industrial systems. Just yesterday, I visited one of the mines which is building what is going to be our biggest power station to be commissioned maybe in the next 2 months, about 35 megawatts. It's already on the grid and is for their own consumption. So we are seeing that trend coming up, and I think in the news yesterday they were talking about Tech Mine, and we have here in Mine South the Caledonia Mine, which is putting 12 megawatts. Last month we also commissioned another 12 megawatts with 6 megawatt hours battery in Bikita Minerals. So we have seen the consumers taking a role in ensuring that there is energy security, apart from those who are being licensed by the regulator purely as energy suppliers, but consumers are enhancing their own energy supply situation. Also looking at the fact that as we go forward, there's a lot of green which will be required from our industries.